What precautions will be in place when athletes return to the field this fall?
So we've done quite a bit, Maumee Valley, back in June when we started opening some opportunities back up for our athletes to come back on campus and do some workouts. We followed the Department of Health, the OHSA guidance that had come out in phasing that in. So we started with small groups, keeping them 6 feet apart, masks whenever not conducting a workout, hand sanitizing in, hand sanitizing out, symptom checking before and after. So that's what we started with, and we've had success with that so far, and just staying vigilant, holding each other accountable to those safety measures. And so since then, we've opened up opportunities to practice and then go ahead and compete against other teams, like we would normally, but with those modifications. So masks for all spectators, masks for any athlete that's on the sidelines, not in competition. If you go out to our soccer field right now, you'll see that we've got seats out there that are 6 feet apart. Our coaches wear masks. The officials, all of the players get temperature checked before they come in. Hand sanitizing. We've messaged this pretty hard with our families. We've done some coaches training. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that we have strategies that mitigate the risk as best as we can, knowing that we can't get it down to zero.
In the case that a student tests positive for COVID-19, what will be the official response?
Well, our first step, if you look at our policies, it's to contact the Department of Health. We are not the experts when it comes to the virus in public health. So following their lead in the many conversations we've had with the Department of Health, they've asked us to contact them first. Quarantining is definitely something that we would do in the event that we have somebody test positive or somebody that's been in close contact with somebody that's tested positive, and symptom checking and things like that. I mean, so we've definitely got some protocols that in the event that happens, we're ready to roll.
How have you had to work with the governor's office to return to some form of normalcy?
Yeah, they've given out a ton of guidance, and it's coming at us quick too. So it's the turnaround time to make sure that we can put things in place has been challenging since I would say May, when we started to entertain the opportunity to open things back up for competition. And so I think the first order came out Memorial Day weekend, and it was set to go in place for that following Tuesday. And I just think for us at Maumee Valley, given our campus and our unique situation with the dial house, that we were ready to do what they were going to allow us to do. So we hit the pause button and made sure we could put a plan in place that worked for Maumee Valley. But the guidance has been good. The Department of Health guidance has been good. A lot of the strategies they've put in place are well thought out. And so we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to take their guidance. And then we do have some specific above and beyond things here for Maumee Valley.
Do you think it's too early to return to sports, even with safety precautions in place?
That's a great question, Jaden. And, I look at public health. There's no doubt that the virus is real, and it's serious. It's impacting millions of people. People have died, obviously, because of it. People that I've known, that have had it. So it's no doubt serious. But I also will say that public health isn't limited to the virus. It's not, it's not exclusive to the virus. So mental health is a big piece, for us as athletic directors that we pay attention to, because extracurricular opportunities, help provide, that outlet for kids, that safe, positive outlet, gets them outside, exercising and active, which is obviously very, very good for their mental and physical health. And you've seen an uptick in some violence in even our local areas. We recently had a shooting at a local basketball court with, I'm looking at the video and it was scary. I'm seeing kids that I've known for a long time running for their lives. And so, again, it's that safe outlet. So that's such a challenging question. And I think what we've done is we're doing it as good as we can do, and with some strategies that we've put in place. But I also recognize that not everybody's situation is the same. And so we've been very flexible in understanding that what one person's situation isn't somebody else's, and assuming the risk of the virus.
What are your thoughts on the decisions made by the governor's office and other sports conferences like the Big Ten?
Well, I'm glad I'm not making those decisions. I can tell you that. Those are some really tough decisions on a big scale. And being the football fan that I am, of course, I would love to see football this fall. And I don't necessarily listen to the casual fan like me, the banter, that happens. That of course we want football back. I really listen to the administrators, the players, the people that are directly impacted by that decision. And I think what's been challenging is that I don't think the transparency, at least in the Big Ten, has been there. But I don't know all the info on that. So, but at least from what I'm reading and seeing, the decision was made, and there wasn't really a plan that was put out by at least the Big Ten. I think that's where a lot of the frustration lies.
What impact has the pandemic had on your student athletes?
When we were hitting that pause button back in May, I had many student athletes and families reaching out to me on both sides, but many were reaching out wanting to get back going and eager. And I can understand that. And walking into this thing and helping reopen our school, we recognized that there was going to be people on all sides of this virus, and assuming the risk levels and what their family situations entailed. So I think we for sure, our kids were eager to get back out there. They've been very thankful and with the opportunity to get back out there. And I think there's a level of discipline that and responsibility that they're taking, that they understand like this can be gone at any moment, and so making sure they're adhering to all the precautions and mitigation strategies that we put in place. I think they're doing a great job, and we're going to continue to make sure that they do that because we want them to play. We don't want them to lose out on a season.
What are your thoughts on the recent marches, protests, rallies to get students back onto the field?
Well, thankfully, our athletes are back on the field now. I think what you're seeing with some of those protests and rallies, and in any protest and rallies, people are passionate about change, and anytime you see that passion come out, it's generally because they're in close proximity. It hits home with them, and so I support those people that are going out and protesting in good ways, in the right way. There a lot of them are family members, parents, the student athletes themselves, and so I'm not in their shoes. I'm not the one whose season has been taken away, at this point. And so it really isn't for me to say, yeah, that's good, or no, that's bad. It's really up to them and how it impacts them, because it's going to impact them in a variety of ways, whether it's their own mental health. I know my kids need to be back here at school, and they need the in-person education. And not every kid's like that, and so that kind of goes along with, the people that are rallying and protesting for their kids to be able to play, or themselves to be able to play.
Maumee Valley Athletics Director Rob Conover, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Jaden.